Hey guys, today we have a budget scope for you to look at. No surprise, one of my most popular videos on my channel is my comparison video between cheap and expensive scopes. And I do have a lot of experience on, like really high-end loopholes, as well as, $20 gun show garbage scopes. And I actually also, believe it or not, Bushcraft 412 at one time. Actually worked in an observatory and knows a thing or two about optics as well. I know, like, jack of all trades, huh? So what we have here is this OTW scope that they sent me along with that bipod that you saw. And I have to do a tabletop today, guys. I've got two sick kids, both with a fever. I just cannot get out to the range. Plus, it's like 10 degrees and like 30-mile-an-hour winds. It's not going to happen until the weather breaks. So I want to do an initial kind of look at this thing because I think this scope shows a lot of promise for the price point, which is in like the mid 30s. In the past, I've reviewed some lower end scopes like the UTGs and NC Star and some of them, and I actually think this is a step above. This, I think, falls quality wise in between that and the like Bushnells, kind of almost dead in the middle of that. So what you're getting is essentially I think a better product than like your NC Star, but for that very similar price. So this is a 3x9x56, and I'm going to cut in some footage of this to show you how good the glass is on this. What shocked me right off the bat is this has very clear glass. Some of the things you look for when you're reviewing these kind of things is problems with the glass, and that will usually manifest itself as kind of an inability to focus, maybe kind of distortion around the edges, or even just issues with it being dark or dim or things looking fuzzy. A lot of issues that you can have with glass. And this glass is actually as clear as a Bushnell. So they actually use good glass, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get it in front of the camera. But I want to kind of give you a look at the... But yeah, the glass is actually pretty clear. I was really surprised with the glass quality. So right there. Alright, and you're going to see some footage of this because I'm going to bring this out and show you how clear it is, and you'll probably be seeing that stuff cut in pretty quick. As far as that, you have the illuminated reticle back here, and which it's better off to see the footage rather than try and put it to the viewfinder here. And your adjustment turrets are covered. And they can be reset for 0. So basically, when you zero this out onto a rifle, you take these out. These are little tiny Phillips head screws. You adjust this back to 0, and then you tighten everything back down, and this will basically be zeroed out for you, so if you're making adjustments. Another surprise out of this, listen to those clicks. That is good gearing. Lots of times you get these cheap scopes, and it's literally like turning a pile of mashed potatoes. It doesn't do it. It's kind of bad. But this here is actually very firm. Every click is... we'll bring this a little closer. You hear that. That's some decent gearing in there, guys. You don't hear that very often at all, especially in cheap scopes. Most of the time it just sounds like a mushy, whatever. So the real test is going to be is how well it actually works. It can sound good. Doesn't mean it's going to work good. But other than that, your 3x9, your adjustable, is surprisingly easy to use. A lot of cheap scopes, these are way too tight, and they're almost impossible to turn like one-handed. This actually turns very freely. Your illuminated reticle, your battery is right here. You can use a penny. It's not too hard to turn, and it does have, you're only going one way with this, so you have to go cycle through red and green. And the shades are okay. They're plastic, they're cheap, nothing great. And then your focus is hidden under this one, which is kind of dumb, but I guess if you're hunting, you can just kind of set it where you want it and then deal with it later. Comes with this really goofy, I don't know, like eye thingamabob. So I guess maybe you can cut out the sun or glare or something like that. Nothing I would ever use, but it is there. And scope rings. They're not the best. Looking at them, they seem like they feel heavy like steel. But you can see they're a little rough, but will they work? Yes, Would I buy something better? Yeah, I would. I try not to use cheap scope rings. They are serviceable though. It looks like they would definitely work. But yeah, I would buy something better for yourself, especially a scope like this. You're not going to put that necessarily on a cheap rifle. Now, as far as reviews of this thing, that's one of the surprising things. When you go on Amazon and you look, a lot of people have very positive reviews about this scope for the price. People on there using this on various, high caliber rifles. So I'm really kind of surprised with that, because normally in that $30 price range, you tend to see very, very mixed reviews, whereas this thing has predominantly positive. So I guess, in the end, I'm really liking what I'm seeing here as far as optical clarity, the cut of the glass, the adjustment knobs seem to be very nice, and everything seems to be done fairly well. Now, the big question is going to be, how well does it hold zero? Will it withstand higher calibers? And lastly, is it going to be adjustable? When you bring this out to the range, are you going to be able to adjust this and have this track accurately? Now, what you typically find is with cheap scopes, that's a no. Oftentimes these are pretty much set them and forget them because there's no accuracy to them whatsoever. Yes, they move, they'll let you zero, but in the end, one click might move you a quarter inch, 4 clicks might move you a quarter inch. You never know. It seems like there's no rhyme or reason because the gears are often really mushy. But this one, maybe it's just luck, but it seems to have a really good gear set in there. Probably really nice fine metal gears. So I'm really excited to try this thing out. Once the weather breaks, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to basically put this on a rifle. And what I'm going to do, guys, and I think the best thing to show this is I'm going to go take one of my better rifles, shoot like 10 rounds with the existing setup, whatever scope's on it, use that same rifle, same ammo, same day, switch this scope over, zero it in, and then take 10 shots with that one and see and compare the two. I think it's a pretty fair comparison to see how it does versus another scope, same rifle, same ammo, same day, all that. So that's what we're going to do. It's going to take me probably a week or so, being it is Christmas, to get to the range, but we're going to test this thing out, guys. I think this has a lot of potential. I'm really excited to see it through and see what ends up happening and how this comes. And of course, if there are issues, you'll see it in the later video, but keep an eye out for this thing in the next couple of weeks. Alright guys, I want you to take a look at that optical clarity. Hopefully the audio is working out for you guys. It's pretty crummy out here. That shed you see to your right, I have tested out with a laser rangefinder, and that is 243 yards away. But you can see now it's probably more of an issue with the focus on my camera and setting this up. But the edges are very crisp. There's no distortion near the edges. It's pretty clear. And being that we're looking out there, 243 yards kind of shows you on a snowy, miserable day that this thing's actually pretty good. So we're going to jump back in. I'm going to turn this up to 9x, and we're going to have another look. Alright guys, and this is 9x at that 243 yards. You can see it's still very clear, and you can see even in this wind, you can easily use this for hunting. Look how clear the edges are. You can see the tree on the left-hand side, there's no distortion. On the edges, even on the right, there's no distortion. Clear glass all around. Nice and bright, considering what kind of a day we're having here. So, there. Alright, I'm going to try and turn on the reticle without knocking up my focus. But yeah, there you can see the lighted reticle. Doesn't show the best in this bright. But yeah, not bad quality at all, guys. I will say, for what we're in right now, that is very good.